All right, I'm here today up in Clare, Michigan with Kyle Camp, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Product Development for the Rogers Group. Rogers Group you may be familiar with for making football equipment, but they also now have a whole line of pendulum strength training equipment that we're going to talk about a little bit. Before we even get started, I want to make sure that everybody knows that they did not pay us to come up here and do an advertisement for them. They are in Michigan. They're about 2 hours north of the Detroit area where we're located, where we do all of our ultimate strength and conditioning stuff. And we have some of their equipment. We use some of their equipment in schools that we have contracts with, and they are just really good people. So we wanted to come up to get familiarized with some of their equipment, some of the stuff that they do, and then it just turned into like, hey, we need to tell more about this. So just want to make sure you guys know that they did not pay us to come up here. We actually just want to put some of this information out. So there's a pretty unique story to Rogers, and just kind of tell us a little bit about kind of the history of how all this stuff went down.
Yeah, the Rogers Group is owned by the Rogers family. And in Depression era Michigan, the current owner, David Rogers, his grandfather, was a farmer in the town of Farwell, and he was a shoe cobbler. So he kept his family fed by running a family farm and mending leather equipment that was around the area, horse tackle and things like that. And at the time, football equipment was primarily leather. So what helmets were around and things like that, there was leather, and the shoulder pads were leather. So he kind of got into the ditch of mending that football equipment. So 30s time frame, in 1930s, and that carried on through the next generation into then Dave's generation and his brother Dick, who in the late 60s took over the business at a young age, 19s and 20s. And they were meeting with the Troy Lions at that point. Troy Lions, we were servicing their equipment. So we would go down after the games on Sunday and mend the jerseys and fix the shoulder pads or whatever may need to happen. And in that relationship, a coach came to Dave and said, listen, I'm teaching my guys to face block. They're burying their face mask in the chest just like I want, but I'm hurting my guys when I do it. And I need something that protects them. So the very first product that Rogers Athletic made was to protect the athlete in trying to learn a technique or a skill. And so that was a bag that created a pocket that the guy could wear and hold between them, and they could teach that technique that was prevalent in football there at that time. So that launched Rogers Athletic in the mid-60s. The first blocking sled then came out in late 69. And the business was built from there. Carried that in to become now the premier provider of football equipment for everything from youth football all the way up to NFL. We've worked with startup leagues in the past, like the XFL, and some of those things have come along. We pride ourselves on being a good partner that way.